Welcome to my life. So I got up today, everything was normal, and this is a cautionary tale about depression. The crazy thing is that a lot of people just think depression affects your mood or you not wanting to do things, but yeah, it does affect you not wanting to do things. But depression also affects your memory, affects your ability to make decisions. It affects you wanting to do things. Like before I got into my funk a couple months ago, I was so on my bills. I was making sure I paid my bills on time. I was making sure that I had money, a little bit money to put in savings. And once I started to get into this episode of depression, I don't care about paying bills because it never feels like I have money anyway. But I have not focused on paying bills. So I get up this morning, everything seemed okay. Then I go to flush the toilet and my water is off. And it's not like I didn't have the money to pay the water bill. I had the money to pay the water bill, but in the back of my head, I was like, oh, I can do it tomorrow. Oh, I can do it tomorrow. And tomorrow was here, people. I had to rush down, pay my water bill. It's going to get back on today. It was more money than I wanted it to be because I just hadn't feel like paying my water bill. And it's not that I don't need water to wash my ass or brush my teeth or to cook. It's just the fact that sometimes being depressed does more than the surface level. Like the one commercial I see that is like, ugh, I can't stand it, is the one where that chick is standing in the line at the coffee shop and he's like, what kind of milk you want? She's like, oat. And then she said, oat milk, I guess. And he's like, okay, like no big deal. And she is sitting there and she acts like it's the biggest decision of her life. Sometimes it is like that. Sometimes oat milk is the biggest fucking decision of your life. Sometimes keeping eye contact is the hardest thing to do. Sometimes getting up out of your bed, taking a shower, and realizing that is exactly what you needed to not only to literally but physically get out of your funk is the hardest thing to do. I can't explain. And before I even got diagnosed with depression, I think it was like, I don't know what the term is. I think it's like ongoing, or I'm not bipolar, but I don't know what I can't remember the exact term was. But no, but anyway, getting back, it is just, sometimes be gentle on your friends. Sometimes check in on your friends. I guess that's why I'm always saying to check in on your friends. Always saying to call people you haven't called for a while, because you truly never know what's going on. You truly never know the struggles that are going on in people's lives. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. Yes, that oat milk was the hardest decision that she probably had to make today. And then she probably second guessed it and doubted it. She probably sat down, analyzed the whole conversation, the interaction, how the person looked at her, how she answered, how she replied, what was his tone, was he disgusted with her? I mean, there are so many things that go on in my head. And I think my problem is I don't like to sit and really process until I want to go to sleep and my brain's like, oh, you remember this? You remember today? You remember that? So I don't know. And also, and this is just my personal opinion, I think the most funniest people are probably the most depressed people. People don't want to be around sad people. People don't want to be around depressed people, or clinically depressed people, or clinically ill people. So I know I'm fucking funny. And that's because I have a lot of damn trauma that is processed and unprocessed. With therapy I need to go to back in the future. I grew up not to have to deal with my emotions. I grew up just knowing how to care for people. And that's what I do today. From the age of being old enough to care for someone, I was caring for someone. I was caring for children when I was a child. I was caring for me when I was 6 by myself. I was a latchkey kid, 6, 7, 6, 7. Anyway, when I was around 7, my mom had a full-time job. We were all single parents, which was in the 80s, was still kind of not it wasn't a big thing, but people did expect you to have a father somewhere around. Like, yeah, your father may not live in the home, but where is he? Is he in the army? Are y'all divorced? They expect some kind of marital agreement going on. And I don't feel it's not until like recently where we're just like, oh, she's a single mom, no big deal. I was a single mom, no big deal. But I have been caring for myself so long that I don't even think about it. I don't even process it. I've been caring for others for so long, I don't even process the damage it has done to myself, because I'm like, who else is going to do it? It's in my DNA. But I'm starting to realize the older I get, I don't have to care for people. And I feel guilty. My daughter is grown. And if I don't cook dinner for her when she comes home, I feel guilty. Like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Even though she is more than capable of coming home and cooking her own meal. Even though I get up before her. I may come home an hour or two before her, but I put more hours in at work and more laborious. I feel guilty. And it's not because, oh, you're a mom, you should feel guilty. No, not every mother feels like that. I feel like that because I feel like I'm failing my job to take care of her as a mom. Or even just to care for her. Like, my job is to care for her. Why couldn't I do that? And then that puts me in a depression. Things are weird. Life is weird. My life is weird. Everyone has their own kinks. Everyone has their own life. I just pray that you, and also I myself, will sit down and start to process me more. Process my feelings more. I have started to tell my daughter, like, even though I just said I feel bad, I'll tell her, hey, it's fend for yourself night. And we have multiple days like that during the week. Or she'll cook. She'll come home and get that skillet out and she'll tell me what she's going to cook. Like, making lunch for her when I'm off is to me like the most wonderful feeling in the world. Why? No idea. But it's because at first I didn't understand, but the more I start to analyze myself, I start to realize it's because I feel like it's another way I can care for her. She's an adult. She does not really need me. So if I can care for her, it makes me feel fulfilled. I would hate to see if she was to move out and it would just be me. I know I would go through a long period of grief and mourning because my title as mom has been lessened to just let me call mom up whenever. You know what I mean? I'm no longer that important person in her life, even though I am. You know, it's just weird. I don't know if all mothers feel that way. You get that empty nest syndrome, which I was prepping for when she was getting out of college. But because for such a long time, I'd pick her up, do things. She was like the center of everything I was doing. But when she moves out, I think I'm going to also still go through that grieving process of where she's no longer the center of everything that I'm doing. I don't know. I'm just on here rambling. I hope everyone have a great day. I hope everyone, like I say, take care of people. If you are having bad thoughts of self-harm, please contact the suicide hotline. Please find that help that you need. Talk to someone. You would be so surprised by just opening your mouth how someone else feels the same way. That's the only reason I'm doing this today. I'm not the only one that feels like this. Especially not on this app. Especially not in this world. There are multiple people out here fighting with depression who don't know that they are depressed. Like, I didn't know that I was fighting with depression until I went to a therapist. And they started asking me questions and certain triggers. And I was getting emotional for no reason. For things that I did not understand. Like, why is this hitting a soft spot? And then he was like, well, this is my just not permanent diagnosis, but just off the couple of this month of interacting with you and taking these quizzes, which I didn't know you had to take tests and freaking when you go to therapy. That was like, I thought you just sat down and talked the whole time. But it was great. And I need to go back. But talk to someone, reach out and contact a friend. Talk to someone. You're not the only one. You are not the only one. And guess what, baby? You are beautiful. No matter if you feel broken, you are never a mistake. You are a whole person that deserves to be looked at and to be respected and to be understood and to have your feelings validated, as long as they're within the realm of validation. I mean, there's certain things that no matter what you say, I feel like I'm validated for, you will not be, validated for. Like, the bad things. So, girl, bruh, sis, non-cis, he, she, they, and the gays, talk to someone if you need help. Have a great day.